Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the Business and the Sillyville editions. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to catch the show live, we stream on 5 different platforms. You can find us on all of those different places. And let's see, anything else we want to get to? Now, let's just go ahead and get right on into the news, shall we? So first up is Google is getting cheap. Of course, Google they used to be like that central corporate. Come here, we got foosball, we have a free buffet, we have all the stuff that you need, everything. It was like that corporate simp gone so far. Now they're like, yeah, we're gonna try and save the company, so y'all have to share a desk. So all that little the foosball tables there, you weren't allowed to play the foosball table anyway. Just be honest. You notice that all these people that are doing these day in the life videos, and then like, the next day they're fired. Like there was one from Twitter, there was one from Facebook, there was one from Google. It was funny. And you watch these, it's like these go viral, and then the CEOs watch this going, who's that person? They'll fire them. Apparently they're not doing anything. They're coming in and using all of our perks and never actually get 1 hour of a meeting. But Google's like, we're getting serious. 2 of you are going to have to share a desk, and I hope you get along. I hope that they, maybe they're big desks. I don't know. We had our desks in grad school were massive. So, a couple of us shared those desks. But they used to have all of the free food section, complimentary laundry service. I don't know. I am not comfortable enough. If I worked for Google, I'm not comfortable enough to have my employers washing my underwear. I'm not into that. Let me know, hit the like button if you're not into your employer washing your underwear. So today in the new cost-cutting era, some Google's employees don't even have their own desks. So this is specifically in their cloud division. They're trying to save the cloud division. And a lot of this, we covered this, I don't think it was last week. I think it was 2 weeks ago, where we looked at the cost. It's going to cost like 10 times the price to run their AI search algorithms that they're all trying to be the first to implement, because of course the first to implement the AI, no matter how white supremacist it happens to be, they're going to be the one to the market, which isn't always actually how history works. It's the guy who gets it successfully to the market, not the first guy that gets it to the market. Okay. But Google is now having to share desks with your various employees. I want to include this one here since we're not doing a separate security section. Just a little bit more information on Lastpass and how this breach happened and some of the consequences. After the Lastpass was breached, there was another breach that happened right after of one of the senior DevOps. So what they did is they tracked down who the different employees were. They found one of the senior DevOps who would have the full keys to the whole business. And then they engaged in a very specific targeted phishing campaign, and they actually were able to compromise his system. So they get into the system, they bypass his 2FA, and they end up getting everything on his home computer. Of course, they're not telling us exactly what all they got, but just to recap, if you haven't followed the other stories, LastPass is 100% compromised. Online password manager, the hackers stole your online password vaults. Now, they are encrypted, so they'd be difficult to get. But if you're using the same password on one of those vaults as you're using anywhere else, and they have that password, or they can just do a cred stuffing, or they can just do a dictionary attack. If you have a non-complicated password or one you've used other places, your passwords, everything in your LastPass is 100% compromised. Even if they did not get into your vault, they still got all of your unencrypted data. All of it, which is every site you have passwords for, your email address, your address, your phone number. All of this information is greatly used in order to figure out exactly who you are and exactly what information they want to breach. This is why never, ever, ever use online pass managers. I don't care if it's open source King Bitwarden or there's another one I was looking at. Passbolt I was looking at is another free and open source one. None of them. Do not put all of your passwords on the internet. That is insane. All right. Yeah, so one of their employees was undone by a targeted phishing campaign after they had gotten just enough information to know how to target him from that original breach. All of the information was leaked out, and then they got the senior DevOps computer and compromised his keys. So LastPass, just close it down. If you are using LastPass, watch my videos on switching to KeyPass XC. You'll have a lot better luck over there with that. All right. Amazon is letting its employees use their stock to finance their home, even a second home. This is an interesting article. The first thing I thought about when I saw this is it was about 15 or 20 years ago. Goldman Sachs had a credit card that allowed you to use a credit card borrowed against your IRA. It was one of those great things that Elizabeth Warren, back before she was a politician and she was a Harvard professor, she was doing a lot of things to counter some of the really corporate written bankruptcy laws. She was one of the ones that really fought against this. And basically, they're like, oh, no, we can do whatever I want. So basically, you have a credit card and your limit is basically your IRA. Of course, there's serious consequences if you draw your IRA down. So you weren't drawing against actually your IRA. You were actually drawing on a basic credit card secured by your IRA. So if you missed a payment, they would just yank the money out. But then, of course, since you're yanking money out of your IRA without actually being of retirement age, guess what? You're getting a government penalty. This reminds me of the exact same thing. So if you have Amazon stock, then you can team up with better.com and you can use your equity in the Amazon stock using what they call the equity unlocker. And this goes towards the down payment of your loan. The problem is, this is so tiered towards the company because they're only taking your stock at a 50% value. So if your stock is currently on the market worth at $200,000, your stock at $100,000 becomes the collateral for your home as your down payment. So you can get a loan where you're going to pay off the mortgage. The down payment is your stock at half its value. And so what ends up happening, I thought this article had a lot more stuff in it than that. There were some pictures. Oh no, I know what it was. I think I had to pull up this one here. I think this is actually the promo page. All right. So pledge your stock, don't sell. So you're pledging it. You're not selling your stock, but you're holding it secured. And so when you're holding it secured, you can't buy or sell or trade anything else, but they have the access to do that in the event of anything goes wonky. Then that's the case. So here is, if you're buying a $500,000 house, traditionally you put down a 20% down payment of $100,000. You have a mortgage loan of $400,000. Using the equity unlocker, instead of putting down $100,000, you can put down $200,000 of your vested equity in the stock, which is at a 50% valuation, which you cannot do anything with that stock. You can't sell that stock. You can't do anything else. You have to hold it with them basically having a lien on your stock account. It's the same exact thing as the bank having a lien on your car. You can't sell it until the entirety of everything is paid down, which means if you get into a serious draw and you need that money, you cannot use it, and it is devaluated by 50%. So this, in my opinion, is probably not a good thing. It's going to allow more people to buy a house than otherwise could, but it's going to have enough downside that it probably is not worth doing. But hey, it's a new option if you want to look into such things. And on to our last story in business. This has been making the rounds this week. You may have seen this. Some articles, I think, like Babylon Bee, reported as that they're going to do this. This will be in your next Ford. No. That's not the case. This is just a patent. But it is a patent to say, at least on some level, people are thinking about it. Many patents are filed and never actually used. Maybe they just have this great idea. They don't want anybody else to come up with the idea, so you file a patent. Maybe, yes, this will be in your next Ford. Who knows? Maybe they will license this out to every other car manufacturer, and this will be in your next car. But basically what it is utilizing all of this smart tech inside of the cars, and your car is going to have a repo code tied to your lending institution, because of course we know that the lending institutions never make any mistakes and they always do great things, and you never have a problem telling them that you've actually made a payment, and you can bring the canceled check and they absolutely will not fail to overturn that. So your car is going to do funny stuff. First, it's going to start playing pranks on you. Things like cruise control, heated seats, the radio, they're just going to stop working. In one instance, they said, well, we're just going to start giving you high audible beeps. Is if you're late on your payments. And then if you let this stuff go on, eventually the car's just going to drive itself back to the dealership. Or if it's really not worth a lot of valuation, it's going to just drive itself to a junkyard. So we're going to take a perfectly fine working car because somebody determined, it's just not enough money to deal with it. Let's just drive the car into the junkyard that's otherwise perfectly working. Where's Greta Thunberg? How dare you? How dare you? I mean, come on, guys. What in the world is going on in this crazy world right here? Because it's just like,
how dare you?
That's right. How dare you? And so I was looking for that. I knew it was on my desktop here somewhere. So yeah, Ford does patent a self-driving car that repossesses itself. If the owner fails to keep up with payments, it drives itself to the showroom or to the scrapyard. So, of course, we have a lending institution ties in the network. If there's a closed garage, it could open up your garage door. It will alert the police authority that's repossessing itself. It's like, what's going on? So this is not something that they're specifically putting into cars. It's just something that they have filed a patent for. But that's frightening enough. Well, if you want to help support the channel, we do have some affiliates here. A2 Hosting, tlm.li/A2H. If you want a good web hosting company, need a new website, and want a good place to host it, you can go ahead and use the coupon code there, and you'll get some good discounts, and then that will help support the channel as well. So with that, though, guys, I know everyone's waiting for Sillyville, so let's get on over to Sillyville. First up, not tech related, but I had to include this. Maine is trying to protect birds from cats using taxation. You know, Maine is the only place I was in that actually had anything about cats anywhere. I literally go into a state park in Maine and they have a bulletin about cats. Like, what? Why? What's going on here? Well, apparently Maine's concerned because cats like birds, and cats are like, yummy, yummy, I want those. And so this cat over here, for example, he's just like, yeah, man, I want some birdies. And so Maine is getting mad about that. And so they're trying to pass legislation that if your cat eats a bird, you could get a $500 fine. So I love this meme that Not the Bee has. If you eat me, your owner will get fined. My what? Because we all know cats don't have owners. They have employees or slaves. So the legislators in Maine have nothing better to do. So they are going to pass legislation to, basically, look at this. This guy's herding cats. All right. They want to make sure that the cats aren't eating the rare birds. I mean, are there really all that many rare endangered birds in Maine? Maybe I don't know, but this cat's like, dude, I want that bird. I want that bird, man. I want that bird. Yeah, I don't know what Maine's up to. Oh, I like this meme too. This is good. Yeah, this is a typical cat. What's going on with this thing? What's going on with this thing? Ah! All right. So anyone up there in Maine watching, you gotta let your legislators know that they've gone bat crap crazy. Well, we found another thing which blows up your phone. If you happen to watch this particular clip from Alien in 4K, it will crash your phone. It's going to crash your phone. It's going to freeze everything out. You're going to have to force reboot it, and some people will have to reboot it again after the force reboot. So we don't know exactly what it is, but this clip in Alien is going to do it. It does appear to be the real alien, so it's not the phone protesting, watching something like Alien Resurrected or something, some nonsense like that, which I did end up buying the Alien 1, 2, and 3. I did not buy Alien Resurrected. If I see it at a Goodwill or something, I don't know. Maybe I'll pick it up if it's like 99 cents or something, but talk about a bad franchise experiment. I still have not watched Prometheus yet, but I won't be watching any of these alien films on my Google Pixel. Of course, I don't have a Pixel, so that's the case. But there's something about this particular clip that won't best mess up your Pixel. All right, now we are on to our tech stuff, more tech stuff. So this courtroom in Columbia Court is moving to the Metaverse. So now if you happen to have a court case, you are going to possibly do your trial in virtual reality. What happens if you're found guilty? Are you going to try and run in the Metaverse? You're going to open up some time warp and jump through it, and then they'll never be able to find you. I'll be a time traveling crazy person. But that's kind of what they have going on here. So there you go. Here's your judge. Of course, they got these. Of course, People's Court did the Zoom court for a while. Okay, that was weird enough. But now we have feetless people. We have disembodied torsos hanging out inside of the courtroom here, going on their very first ever legal court case. No, I'd rather not go to court in Facebook's crazy dysfunctional universe. I think we'll probably not do that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments there. Would you want to go into the Metaverse for court, or you'd be like, yeah, I kind of want to be there? I don't know. The novelty of it all. I want to look that judge right in the eyes and say, I didn't do it. And on to Demolition Lips. Of course, this is our next movie of the day, Demolition Man, where, of course, any form of direct sexual contact was strictly forbidden. And so when was that Sandra Bullock, I think, is like, will you have sex with me? Right? And it gets like the VR stuff, and it's all this weirdness. And so now over here, this is a patented remote kissing device. So I guess on the phone is your picture of your lover or whatever else, and then you get these lip things. Your phone slips into this lip thing, and you got these lips. I wonder if they have different attachments for if your lover's got a beard or something. No word about a tongue in this thing. So I don't know about that, but this invention allows people to experience real intimacy with long-distance partners or with random strangers. That's all we need. That's all we need. I need this thing. I'm going to start kissing passionately this crazy, crazy device with my phone attached. Oh, my Lord. What in the world is this world coming to? I'm telling you, the remote kiss is designed to stimulate an actual smooch between partners separated by distance. It attaches to the phone and links to the mobile app. Great. That's all I need now. I need some company spying and collecting data. Oh, this guy kisses for only like 3 seconds. Pretty soon, Mark Zuckerberg's going to have a website to, kiss or not kiss, rate your kiss or whatever else based on the data collected by the app. Who knows? But once it's set up, the device simulates a kiss's pressure, movement, and warmth, according to a report in the South China Morning Post. I think this thing should be cast in the South China Sea, personally. It even has silicone lips to make the experience as realistic as possible. Well, it sounds good on paper. The video demonstrations of the device could be more convincing. Okay, I gotta turn off the volume on that. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Yikes. Yikes. Oh, Lord, what's that? Oh, that's something related to whatever else. All right, well, if you want to help support the channel, we do have a locals page, switchedtolinux.locals.com, if you want to help support this crazy show and this crazy weirdo on this crazy show. But there you have it, guys. There's our Sillyville edition. I just hit like if you cannot unsee that.
Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.